Yes, well, good afternoon again. I think that we had a great opportunity this morning and this afternoon to go over a number of subjects, and I understand that technology worked very well and that everybody was happy on the line out there. In the meantime, during the break, I was reminded that we have a number of high-powered women in this company, and I didn't give them the full credit before, so I just want to give it to you, ladies. Okay, thank you. So anyway, listen, I think my dream was to get you Jack Welch, and Jack is there today. And my dream was to get you Jack Welch here because he's a legend in business, but also because I read his books. And I read his books, and when you read his books, especially the last one, I think that, I felt very much home reading this. And I was really feeling the same thing I was reading, and I was dreaming the same thing I was dreaming in there, and I was saying, yes, this is right. So I'm very happy to, invite here, Valerie. Valerie Morris will come back and is going to monitor this presentation. And Mr. Welch. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Enough water.
Enough. I'll probably drown by the time we're through.
But that's just the thing about Jack and all of the times that we have talked and met. Water is your thing.
Water's my thing.
It keeps the mind and the body
Until about
fresh.
6 o'clock.
And after that, Jack, it comes under the category of too much information.
Right.
It is always good to see you.
Thank you.
Your latest book, you talk about 4 principles that you consider fundamental to winning in business. And I'd like for you to elaborate just for a few minutes before we get into the Q&A. This audience has a lot of questions, and we will be turning and taking your questions. Just make sure, wave, do something. The people are here with microphones, our 2 ladies here. So just if you raise your question, they will get to you, and I will make sure to get to you as well. But first of all, just generally, elaborating on your theory and the premise of this book, Winning.
Well, if I talked about it, I talk about a fundamental baseline of management, if you will. And I think there are 4 underlying principles that we use that are by no means a Bible, but they're a way of thinking about it. And one is the mission and values. And mission and values can be soft, puffy, meaningless airballs, or they can be real things. In our case, we talk about what is the mission of the company. And we tried to describe the mission of the company as being the most competitive enterprise on earth. That's exactly what we wanted to be without any other words about it. We wanted to be winners. And then the values that go with that are really behaviors that will enhance you achieving that. And values aren't things like excellence, integrity. Those are things that you take for granted. You better have integrity, or you better not show up. That's a ticket to get into place. But as far as having it as a value, no. Values are things like candor. When I came to GE, it was a good company, but it was filled with what I call superficial congeniality. Everyone BSing each other, smiling, nodding, and then stabbing others in the back. Okay? It was superficial congeniality, and we absolutely wanted to drive candor into the business. Face-to-face appraisals, tell it like it is, no businessese, very few charts in meetings, conversation, not PowerPoint stacks this high, real conversation to get at the stuff. Another value might be boundaryless thinking. That means open to ideas from everywhere. Too many businesses, NIH. If it's not invented here, we don't want to talk about it. So we would ridicule that behavior, and we would take people out for that behavior. We wanted people open. If you found something at Walmart, or if you found something at Home Depot, or you found something at Hewlett-Packard, or anywhere, you would run, bring it back, and the heroes were those that found things elsewhere and then shared that knowledge everywhere. They weren't the people that were raising their hands with their own little secret idea. They were the people that found ideas everywhere. That was a value. And NIH was basically punished. And when you take values like this, for example, we had a value, speed. And we had a value, hate bureaucracy and the bureaucrats that practice it. Now, most people won't write that value down.
Yeah.
But these checkers at headquarters that check everything over and over again, these Sorry, Michelle. No, we basically cleaned out massive amounts of headquarters staff, and we used the criteria like this. I used to have coffee with the assistants, and the assistants would say to me, "Is our job secure?"
Just because you showed up.
Because we were going to have these coffees, and we'd want to know. They had seen all these people in headquarters go home, and I said, "You can check on one thing. Check your phone log. If the phone calls are coming in because the people in the field need help, more than the phone calls are going out, so your jackass boss isn't trying to make charts to hand over to the boss, your job is secure. You can check the flow of phone calls to determine your survival rate." Because in the end, the headquarters makes nothing, sells nothing. All it does is facilitate activity in the field where real things happen. And when you get a headset around that in a headquarters operation, you change the company. They're not checkers who are finding out what somebody did to show off to some headquarters biggie. They're there to help the people in the field with a tax problem, with a recruiting problem, with any problem, a government relations problem, any of these things. So these values are not puffery values. They're values that you reward and punish by. Candor. Candor is something that I think is absolutely critical to any company getting on in a global world that needs speed. You have straightforward communications with everybody. They're on the table. That doesn't mean you're mean, you're arrogant, you're rude. It means none of those things. It just means you tell it like you believe it is. And you have dialogues about it face to face. So your differences might be real, but they're confronted. Differentiation, the third thing. Probably the most controversial thing that I'm associated with. 20, 70, 10. It can be 15, 80, 5, whatever you want to have it, but some differentiation where the best are rewarded, nurtured, loved, promoted, where the middle 70 or the middle whatever you call it are moved up, and these are not lifelong appointments. They're a point in time, looked at every year, and then the bottom, you ask the bottom to move on. People say to me, "How can you do that?" And everyone's got a reason why you don't do it. Well, why wouldn't you grade employees? Why is it that kids go to school until they're 21 and they get grades for 21 years or 16 of those 21 years? But the minute they join a company, oh no, you can't grade them anymore. So it's kind to grade kids and not kind to grade employees? Get out of here. It's crazy. It's backwards. It's absolutely backwards. And then people say, well, grading is so arbitrary. What other method is there to build a great team? This whole thing is about the team that feels the best players wins. That's what it's about. If you feel the best players, you'll win. Put them together as a team, you'll win. And that's what you're out to do. Find the best players in the world, motivate them to be a team, and put them together to win. And then finally, voice and dignity. You want to get every employee to feel that they have voice in the company. You want them to be able to speak up, regardless of the stripes on their shoulder. You want to be able to let them give you their straight stuff, and they don't get punished for doing it. You beg for ideas,